What am I doing? I'm playing with my new fire piston. And for those of you that don't know what a fire piston is, I guess several centuries ago, people got sick and tired of banging steel against rocks. Somebody came up with this great idea to harness the power of compacted air, kind of like a diesel engine, to create an ember in char cloth. I've also done this in chaga, punkwood, to start fires with. And you know, any man worth his salt that's starting fires can manipulate an ember to do exactly what he needs. Well, I was tooling around on YouTube the other day, and I got this idea on how to make my own homemade fire piston. Now, you can buy these all over the place. They run about, I don't know, 30 to 60 bucks. Some are even more expensive. They're all machined and all spectacular. And I don't know about you, but I'm a common man, and us common folk like to save as much money as we can by learning how to do things ourselves. So I came across how to build one of these, and I thought I'd give it a shot yesterday. And I put the pictures on YouTube, and a lot of people, or not YouTube, Facebook, a lot of people really want to know how to do this. So I'm going to kind of walk you through it. Okay, the first thing I needed to do was go down to the local home improvement store and get a 8-inch copper stub out. Now, a copper stub out is what is put on your pipes to keep them from knocking. It's kind of like a shock absorber. You're going to want to get an 8-inch copper stub out. It's a 8-inch by 1/2 inch. You're going to want a 1/2 inch oak dowel rod is what you're going to need. You're going to need a pipe cutter. Works like that. Twist it around. You're going to need a handle for a knob. Now, I use a wooden one. They also have porcelain, metal, whatever you'd like. And you're going to need a number 83 1/2 inch outer diameter O-ring. They're rubber. This is all pretty cheap, actually. You're also going to need some clear spray paint. I would buy clear Krylon matte finish spray paint. The first thing I needed to do was I needed to cut this. So we take the copper stub out, and these really work best between 4.5 and 5 inches. So I measured 4.5 inches. I put a mark on. I used my pipe cutter, put it on there and twist it around, cut through a little more, twist it around. And it's very important because you don't want to tear your O-ring up when you're done. You want to try to bevel the inside of that. It'll help the O-ring slip, and it'll take any burr off. And to tell you the truth, I tried a deburring tool, but my pocket knife seemed to work best. I could really cut a good chamfer with that. Now you're going to want to take your dowel rod, and you're going to have a lot of space in the bottom here. That's where your compressed air and your fuel are going to ignite. And you want to get this about perfect length. So I went ahead and stuck it right down in there as far as I could. Took my marker and used that to mark all the way around. Okay, and when I had my circle marked all the way around, I went ahead and I took a brand new hacksaw blade and very slowly cut through it so I didn't have any tear out. You don't want anything that's going to mess up your seal. Alright, when I was done there and I had my piece of rod, I'll just go ahead and take this right off of here. Now I had to figure out how to put my gasket in here. My gasket had to sit in a nice little channel. This one, I've used this a lot over the last day, just playing with it. And really, you want to get your gasket to be about 1/4 inch from the end. That's where you want to start. So I took my leftover piece of pipe, ran this through this way, measured 1/4 inch, and I marked it all the way around again. Alright, now these O-rings aren't very thick, maybe 90 thousandths at the most, or 1/16 and a half, 3/32. And so I took my Mora Classic number 1 and I began to carve a notch. Now you want to go slow. You want your notch to accept the O-ring but still leave enough of it out that you can leave a nice seal in here. However, too much and you'll get tear out on your O-ring. You don't want to have to force this thing in if you don't have to. So easy does it, a little bit at a time is how you do it. Alright, when I had that set to where this could go inside here, and it would give a nice good spring. This one needs a little lube on it right now. Sometimes you gotta lube them up. So we'll get a nice good spring on it. I knew I was good to go. So then I took my handle. These come with a screw. You screw it in, and you're going to take the screw head and you're going to grind that off on your grinder. Then you're going to drill a hole, and you're going to put this all together, and you really want it all to come together flush. So when you're done, the bottom of this will rest on this only by force. You have to force it on there. All right? Then, and this is a very important part, this is oak, it's wood, it is porous. So when you're done with that, when you've got your 4.5-inch copper tube, when you've got your fitted dowel rod, when you've got your gasket on and your handle, pull the gasket back off, take it out in the garage, out in the yard. You're going to want to hit that and coat the whole thing, and I finished the whole thing to make it look pretty. Coat the whole thing with the Krylon. You're going to want to, carving, you're going to have little nicks taken out of this. That'll seal this right up, and it will really, really keep you from having any issues with sealing. It's very important, and if it ever wears out, add a little more. And then you want to lube up your cylinder, you want to lube up your O-ring, you want to force it in, and you should be able to get plenty of bounce. And there's all your pressure, guys, right there. So after that, you pop in a little char cloth. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. You need to take your pocket knife and make a nice little divot. That's probably a little more than an 1/8 inch deep, and probably 1/16 less the circumference of the dowel. So that'll pack your char cloth in there. You really don't want to use much more than, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Pack it in, leave it sitting loose, and you should be set to go. So once again, I'm Jeff Gear with Common Folk Self-Reliance. If you like the videos we're making, or you're really interested in learning more, why don't you subscribe to us on YouTube? Just click the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more postings, or you want to learn more about the classes we offer, or the things that we're starting to do, check us out on Facebook. We're listed on Facebook under Common Folk Self-Reliance. So subscribe, like, and like the Facebook page. Keep your powder dry.